What is up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. I want y'all to know, like, we've just been in the green room talking because y'all are just fun. Y'all are some of my favorite people to be around. And so we were like, wait, we're supposed to be doing a video actually. And so, guys, if you don't know who these women are, you live under a rock because they're unbelievable. And they're so unbelievable. Neither one of them go by two names. They both have three names because they're just so amazing. And so I have got Michelle, Berman, Mikel, and I have got Marki, Lemons-Ryhal. And we are here because in less than 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks, we have the Virtual Handshake Conference taking place. And I'm excited. Anytime that I get to be a part of something with you guys and then everybody else is going to be a part of it, it's just exciting to me. And so, Michelle, real quick, before we jump into this, give everybody, like, because this was your idea, right? So if this is terrible, guys, it's not going to be, but if it is, it's her fault, right? But if it's incredible, I get credit. I'll take credit for it if it's really good. Right. But no, Michelle, why the Virtual Handshake Conference? There's so many conferences, right? We've all been to a bunch of them. Why this one? Why now?
So the biggest thing for me, and I literally talked about this yesterday because I'm so passionate about the idea of people walking into somewhere, and in this case, virtually attending, and walking out with so much ammo that they don't even know, like, which, honestly, they're so overwhelmed in a good way that they're like, I just want to do it all right now because I know it's going to change the way that I do everything. And so, there's so many conferences we go to. I've personally got hundreds of them, and you come and you get a notebook and you take a bunch of notes and you're so excited, but then you walk out and you're like, how do I start? I don't know what to actually do. And so when we were kind of creating this monster, and in my brain, I thought to myself, I have built my entire career on creating relationships virtually with people that have helped me grow, have helped my clients and my students build their businesses, and have ultimately made me some of my best friends on the planet. And so the idea behind it was creating a conference called the Virtual Handshake, because that's what we're taught to do, right? Create these virtual relationships that, Marki, you and I haven't met, but I know I'd hug you, girl, as soon as I met you, because we have that, right? And that's the power of creating strong virtual relationships. And so when I decided to do this, I said, we're going to create a conference that people are going to walk away from with so much to-dos that there's no way they can fail unless they just don't do them. And love it. I'm going to put a ton of people that I love and admire in a room, and I'm just going to let them drop the fire. And if I get to say two things that are half good, then that's a win.
That's right. And it's so cool because I met both of you online. Mm-hmm. And so Marki, you and I, we spoke at the last event, like the day before the country got shut down.
Yes, we did.
Right. And so we weren't supposed to, but we hugged anyway, because we'd established that rapport just through social media. And so this is what people need right now. Mm-hmm. And Marki, I know you're not only kicking off the conference, but then you're hosting the second day of the event. And so we get your energy so much during this conference. And so you're going to be talking to us about, do they know, like, and trust you? Right. We say this all the time, right? Like, everybody hears that, but what are they not understanding?
So when I think about know, like, and trust, and it hit me a couple of weeks ago, my family does not like to go grocery shopping with me because I'm a socializer, period. Before social media, I'm the great socializer. So I never wrap it up fast at the grocery store. So I put on a baseball cap, I have my mask on, and my family is elated because their thought process is we can get in and out the grocery store without her socializing. So I'm coming down an aisle, and there's a gentleman behind me in a motorized scooter. And he calls my name out, not just my first name. He says Marki Lemon. So this is like my government name before I got married. And my husband and my son, if you could have seen the utter disgust on their face, right? And they look around me because the guys behind me, and they was like, there's no way he really knows you. So I turned around and I said, did you say my name? And he was like, yes, you're Marki Lemons. I said, how do you know me? Because I got a baseball cap and a mask on. He says, I know your voice anywhere. So what people haven't thought about, like in the virtual handshake and us consistently talking about creating video content, is that people get to know your mannerisms. They get to know your face. They get to know your voice. So they don't even have to see you now, right? Well, the thing is with the know, like, and trust, I make a lot of money online. That means people spend a lot of money with me. And it's because they feel comfortable, right? It wasn't an ad that I put in front of them. I just started doing ads because they feel comfortable with me, because you can admit when you're wrong, because you don't always have to be right, because you have shown them what you really look like without a filter on.
Come on.
We get to create all of that virtually. So people know the good, the bad, and the ugly about me. And they feel like they really have a personal relationship, because before the pandemic, people walk up to me all the time. And this is what I tell people. When you start using social media and technology, you better be the same person online, face to face, or people will not trust you. So when people smile at me or wave at me, I got to smile and wave, right? Yeah. And they will say, we've never met before, or you don't know me. Right?
Right.
That they know me. They've researched me. They've Googled me. They have a perception about me. And the mere fact that they're speaking means that they either know, like, or trust me. And if they didn't like me, they would not speak.
So good. It's so good. And so give us one, we're not going to give away your talk right now, but just what's one tangible tip that if you had to say, realtors, stop doing this immediately or start doing this immediately, right? You can be negative or positive. I'll give you the choice. What's just one tip that you could give away right now that would instantly make people better that are watching this video?
This is going to be an interesting tip. I would like for realtors to start adhering to antitrust and stop discussing the practices of others. It's in particular one organization, Zillow. Zillow is a brokerage. It is a violation of antitrust to talk negatively about them because they are a brokerage. With that being said, I could care less about what a Zillow does. All I need is 1% of my market share to live, the most fabulous life that I could ever dream up. So how do I worry about an organization that might have 10% market share when I only need 1% market share? And here's the true benefit of being you. Zillow does not have feet on the ground recording video like I do. Right. So the question is, understand who your competition is. I can't compete with Zillow on ad spend. Zillow cannot compete with me on the south side of Chicago with feet on the ground creating video consistently.
That's good. And on a practical side, if your content is always dogging something else, that's not attractive. No, like that doesn't make me want to be your friend.
No. I learned a valuable lesson, and this would probably be a benefit of another thing not to do. Never talk poorly about your neighborhood because you're helping to depreciate its value and the perception. But the same way that you would never talk poorly about your neighborhood, because I believe in karma, you don't go and talk poorly about other people's neighborhood either. So years ago, I had talked about potholes on Woodlawn in Hyde Park. Within 24 hours, the first person I talked to was like, so tell me about the potholes. And I'm like, oh, that's not like, I want to talk about putting your house. I want to talk about these raggedy little potholes. And that let me know the power of your words. Yeah. Since then, I'm not going to complain online. I'm not a complainer because it actually helps depreciate and it also attracts negativity. Because I'm like, this is the first thing we're going to talk about? Oh, Marki, that's your fault. That was my fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. We got to own it. Man, it's so good, Marki. And I just can't wait for this. Michelle, you brought together the group of communicators and speakers that we have, and I got to tell you, I love all of them. Right, they're all incredible. I feel like I'm the lowest on the totem pole, which is a good thing, because I think I'm awesome. But I think, right, so like I don't say that to crap on myself. I just think that that's legitly the caliber of men and women that you've pulled together to make this event happen. And so, Michelle, we have we just have a few days, right? Early bird ends next week. And so how do people go get registered?
So virtualhandshakeconference.com, all one word. There is so much information on this website. All 9 of us that are coming together to deliver just an insane amount of value. You can read about each one of us individually. You can learn about what our conversations are going to be about. I get to talk about one of my absolute favorite topics on the planet, which is the difference between subliminal and tangible leads on social media, and why both of them are super important.
Yep.
And how both of them can't be done without the other, right? Both of them kind of end up happening simultaneously if you do it right. So I get to talk about that, but Kyle, you get to talk about one of my favorite things and I love listening to you talk about storytelling and the power of it, and Facebook and the things that you can do by being yourself, right? So Marki was talking about people just know her. And that's one thing I can say is the leads that I generate off the platform, when they call me, they know more about me than I feel like they should. But why? Because I encourage that. I want people to feel connected to me. I want people to know that I'm, 7 months pregnant, and that I had a bad day the other day where I left the gym and I was crying and I was upset because I was like, I couldn't do a burpee today. Like, what's happening to my body? Like, you know what I mean? So being able to share those things, I think, is amazing. But that's how.
Why is a pregnant lady doing a burpee? Like, Marki? Okay. What? Talk some sense into this woman.
What type of activity is
what
that?
What is happening right now?
You guys can laugh at me, but you know what I mean? Being an athlete and being somebody who's been so physically active my entire life, to get to a place where like I couldn't do things that were used to be so second nature to me, that's where the feeling came from. But or why that emotional frustration was coming out from me. But the moral of the story is virtualhandshakeconference.com. All 9 of us have something incredibly powerful to add to your guys' lives. And we all get to do it together. I just can't wait to hang out with all of you guys for 2 days.
Yep.
And the best part about it, for those people who, are on the fence, should I come, should I not come? Every day we have 4 talks, right? So there's 4 separate individual 45-minute to an hour conversations that we get to have. And then all of us get to come together. So all 9 of us get to come and hang out and do a Q&A at the end of each day. And I think that there's something awesome about that, right? You get to all hang out, answer questions, just love on the people that have taken the time to come spend time with us and spent the money to come hang out with us. And for me, whether there's 1,000 people or 2 or 20 people that are there, I just want somebody to come, and I want you guys to listen to how different each one of us are, right? In a good way, but how all of us complement each other so incredibly well. And I honestly I know I wouldn't be in the position I'm in my career without some of the guys that are on this panel. And I know that the future of my relationship with people like Marki and with other people that are coming into our circle are only going to get stronger. So I encourage everybody to come spend time with us. And like Kyle said, I think we're kind of awesome. So
yeah, we are very awesome. And so guys, I want to end this like this. For those of you that watch this now or later, right? I want to give you this challenge, and I want to ask you to challenge yourself in this way. Right? I tell people all the time, go to my social media and try not to like me. Right? And I know like it sounds so arrogant and like I'm some just huge dork, but I really do mean this, because I fight so intentionally to be so acutely aware of everything I do on social media and how it impacts me in the future. And so if you're the realtor that all you do is post your listings and post your closing photos and post your video tours of homes, and that's all you're doing, you are so tone deaf to what is happening around you and the opinion that people are creating about you. And so go to my page and then go to yours and then pay attention to how they make you feel a little bit different. Go look at Michelle, go look at Marki, because guys, there has never been more value right now than your ability to shake people's hands virtually, ever, so that you can have moments of being in the grocery store with your hat on, with your mask on, and people go, Marki Lemon?
What?
That's what we want. And so, Michelle and Marki, thank you for hanging out with me. Guys, go sign up. virtualhandshakeconference.com. Early bird ends June 2nd. We hope to see you there.
Awesome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.